You know the differences between these two photos? Well, one is the color temperature and the other is a completely different vibe. Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at color temperatures and why some pictures look good when they're a little bit warmer and why some pictures look good when they're a bit colder. It's not just about aesthetics or things like that, but it's mainly about how the photo makes us feel. A lot of people try to find the correct colors when editing, something neutral, universal, ideally based on some kind of reference. But colors in a photo aren't just about correctness. They're mainly about the atmosphere, the emotion they convey, and the story they tell. We already talked about something similar in this video here, but that was more about editing in general. In this one, we're gonna be starting with almost the same exposure, but we're gonna be playing around more with the temperature. Let's start with what we actually mean by warm and cool colors. Warm colors are those that shift towards yellow, orange, and red. Cool colors, on the other hand, are gonna move towards blue, cyan, and green. And just from that, it's pretty clear that each direction is going to create a completely different feeling. Warm colors, naturally, feel welcoming, cozy, and often even nostalgic. They remind us of evening light, sunsets, candles, or a warm summer atmosphere. So when I want to feel calm, intimate, or warm, I'm going to shift towards warm tones. Typical examples are portraits, family photos, or travel shots from summer vacations. A slight shift of the white balance temperature to the right is often just what it takes to make the photo feel warmer right away. But as always, it's important not to overdo it. Once the colors turn too orange, the photo is going to start looking unnatural and loses total credibility. Cool colors, on the other hand, work in a completely different way. When you shift the white balance temperature towards cooler tones, photos start to feel calmer, sometimes even distant, but at the same time, they can be very powerful. They work great for landscapes, mountains, fog, architecture, or even dramatic scenes. Cool tones often enhance the feeling of space, silence, or mystery. They help emphasize the atmosphere of the moment and suppress distracting warm tones that might feel right out of place. Now, what's very important to say is that warm or cool colors have nothing to do with any particular genre. It's all about intention. Even a portrait can work in cooler tones if you want to create a more distant or a melancholic mood. And landscapes can absolutely be warm, especially if you're shooting at sunrise or sunset and you want to preserve that atmosphere. Now, when editing, you should always ask yourself, what am I trying to make the viewer feel? And based on that, you should either go to warm or to cold and nothing other than that. A common mistake is trying to force every photo into neutral colors. The result may not be technically wrong, but it's also not a strong one either. Colors are one of the most powerful tools you have to support emotion in a photograph. It's also good to remember that warm and cool tones don't have to be applied evenly across the entire image. Sometimes it's enough if the main subject is slightly warmer and the background is a bit cooler. That gives the photo depth and a natural contrast without making it look artificial. Now, color grading is a tool that's going to help you tell a story. Once you start using sliders based on feeling and emotion versus some technical reason that you might change them, your photo is going to get a completely different level and they're going to look that much better. I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a good one. Ciao.